3 months after I said I do, my wedding photographer called me at 8:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. "Mrs. Patterson," his voice was shaking, "you need to come to my studio. Tonight. Right now. And please, come alone." I sat there in my silk robe watching Wheel of Fortune, and something in my gut told me my entire world was about to explode. I was right. I'm Diane Patterson. I'm 60 years old, and this is how I lost everything at 57 and found the strongest version of myself I never knew existed. 6 months earlier, I was 56, divorced 12 years, and sitting alone in a Charlotte Starbucks on a rainy April morning. I'd raised 2 kids on a teacher's salary, made peace with being alone. Then he walked in. Marcus Patterson, 6'2", salt and pepper hair, tailored navy suit. He ordered black coffee, and when the barista called his name, our eyes met. Time stopped. "Excuse me," he said, walking straight to my table. "I couldn't help noticing you're reading Toni Morrison. Beloved is my favorite." Any woman my age knows that's either genuine or a really good line. But when you've been lonely for over a decade, you want to believe. We talked for 2 hours. He said he was a real estate investor, recently widowed, moved to Charlotte from Atlanta to start fresh. "I didn't think I'd ever feel this way again," he told me on our 3rd date, holding my hands across a candlelit table. "But Diane, you make me feel alive." 3 months later, Marcus proposed in Freedom Park, down on one knee, 2-carat diamond ring. "Diane Marie Johnson, you brought back the light. Will you marry me?" I ugly cried in front of 50 strangers who all started clapping. My daughter Jennifer was cautious. "Mom, don't you think this is fast? You've known him 3 months." "Sweetheart, when you're our age, you don't waste time," I said. "I know what I'm doing." My son David was blunt. "Did you run a background check? Know anything about his finances?" "David, I am not investigating my fiancé like he's a criminal." Red flag number 2, Marcus always had excuses for why I couldn't meet his Atlanta friends or visit his office. But he showered me with gifts, jewelry, flowers, weekend getaways, paid for everything. "You've worked hard your whole life," he'd say. "Let me take care of you now." And I let him. We married in September at the Duke Mansion, 75 guests, string quartet. Our photographer Tyler captured everything. The ceremony, our first dance to At Last by Etta James. Mrs. Patterson, my beautiful wife. I thought I'd gotten my fairy tale. I'd actually married a con artist. After our Cancun honeymoon, things felt off. Marcus pushed hard to sell my house in Dilworth. "The market's on fire. My guy can get you $20,000 over asking, but we gotta move now." Against Jennifer's tearful begging, I listed it. Sold in 4 days. $340,000 minus the mortgage left me $215,000. "Put it in our joint account," Marcus said casually. "We're married. What's yours is mine. What's mine is yours." My stomach twisted, but I did it. Within 2 weeks, money started disappearing. "Where'd the $20,000 go?" I asked, looking at our bank statement. "Investment opportunity, babe. Real estate deal. We'll double it in 6 months. And this $15,000? Business expenses." "Marcus." "Diane." His voice turned sharp. First time I'd heard that tone. "Do you trust me or not?" "Of course, but..." "Then stop questioning me like I'm some criminal. I've been doing this 25 years. I know what I'm doing." I backed off, because that's what you do when you don't want to rock the boat. Red flag number 3. He came home later and later. Midnight, 2 a.m. Client meetings, he'd say. Phone always face down, stepped outside to take calls. When I suggested meeting his clients, he laughed. Diane, these are high-level investors dealing with millions. They don't want pot roast with my wife. Jesus, read the room. The man I married was vanishing, and I was too terrified to admit I'd been played. Then came that Tuesday night phone call. Tyler Brennan, wedding photographer, voice trembling. Mrs. Patterson? I need you to come to my studio. There's something you need to see. Don't tell Marcus. My heart dropped. Tyler, what's wrong? Please, just come. I told Marcus I was going to book club. He didn't even look up. Tyler's studio in Noda. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Mrs. Patterson, I'm so sorry, he said, tears in his eyes. I didn't know whether to show you, but I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. He turned his laptop around. A photograph from our wedding reception, background shot. Marcus at the bar, with his arm around a woman, young, maybe 30, tight red dress. The way he looked at her, his hand on her waist, intimate, familiar. Who is she? I whispered. I don't know, but there's more. Next photo. Marcus kissing her cheek, her hand on his chest. Next, them disappearing through a side door together. Timestamps show he was gone 43 minutes, said Tyler quietly, while you were taking family photos. The room's on. Mrs. Patterson, after I found these, I got curious. I did some digging. He pulled up a Facebook page. I don't think Marcus Patterson is who he says he is. The profile picture, Marcus, but the name, Michael Torres. He's got 3 Facebook profiles, Marcus Patterson, Michael Torres, Martin Pierce. Same face, different names. And Mrs. Patterson, he's married, or was. Wedding photos from 2019, different woman, Christine Valdez, Tampa. I couldn't breathe. There's more. Court records. He's been sued 4 times for fraud. Arrest warrants in Georgia and Florida. Mrs. Patterson, I think your husband is a professional con man. I vomited in his trash can. I sat in my car for an hour, shaking. Every romantic moment replayed like a cruel joke. The Starbucks meeting, the proposal, the "you brought back the light" speech. All lies. He never loved me. He loved my $215,000. When I got home past midnight, Marcus was watching ESPN, drinking scotch. How was book club? Who's Christine Valdez? The remote fell from his hand. He turned slowly, and I saw his real face for the first time. Cold, calculating, dangerous. Where'd you hear that name? Who is she, Marcus? Or should I call you Michael Martin? He stood, all 6'2". Suddenly a complete stranger. You need to be very careful right now, Diane. The police might be interested in your fraud charges, the arrest warrants. He grabbed my wrist hard. Listen carefully, he hissed. You don't know what I'm capable of. Shut your mouth, smile pretty, and pretend everything is fine, because if you don't, you'll what? I yanked free. I already called the police. I hadn't. But his face, pure panic, told me everything. He was a coward. You're bluffing. Try me.
Get out of this house now. This is my house. Get out. Something in my voice, 56 years of being underestimated, made him flinch. He grabbed his keys and left. Tires squealed. I locked every door and called Jennifer, sobbing.
The next 72 hours, police reports, lawyers, devastating revelations. Detective Sarah Kim sat across from me. Mrs. Patterson, you're victim number 7 that we know of. His real name is Marcus Anthony DeLuca, 46 years old, not 52, Newark, New Jersey, running romance scams for at least 15 years. Christine Valdez? Victim number 4, Tampa, 2019. He stole $180,000 and vanished. Before her, Patricia Monroe in Atlanta, $180,000 and vanished. Before her, Patricia Monroe in Atlanta, $250,000. Before that, Sandra Chen, $175,000. Stop, please. But she continued. The investments? Fake. The office? A UPS store mailbox. The house? He was squatting in a foreclosed property. My $215,000? Gone. Offshore accounts, cryptocurrency, untraceable. We've been tracking him 18 months, Detective Kim said. You coming forward gives us enough for a warrant. What about my money? Her face said it all. I'm sorry, Mrs. Patterson. In cases like this, money is almost never recovered. They arrested Marcus 6 days later at a Greenville hotel. With another woman, 62-year-old widow from Christian Mingle. 3 weeks, already convinced her to take out a home equity loan. I wasn't special. I was a mark. The months after were the darkest of my life. I moved in with Jennifer's family, slept on their couch, lost my house, savings, dignity. Panic attacks in grocery stores, couldn't sleep, saw his face every time I closed my eyes. Couldn't eat, lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. Started crying at random times, teaching fractions to 3rd graders. Target checkout line, watching cartoons with my grandsons. Jennifer held me. Mom, this isn't your fault. But it felt like my fault. How could I be so stupid, so blind, so desperate? My therapist, Dr. Patel, changed everything. Diane, people like Marcus are professionals. They've perfected this for decades. They exploit our best qualities: hope, trust, love. Being victimized doesn't make you weak. Surviving makes you strong. I started doing the work. Went back to teaching at Dilworth Elementary. Those gap-toothed kids reminded me there was still good in the world. Joined a support group for fraud victims. Met Ruth, 71, who lost $400,000 to a scammer, then started a nonprofit to help others. Don't let him take your joy, Ruth said, gripping my hands. The money's gone. That's just money. But your spirit, that's yours. Taking it back, that's the victory. I started writing. First a journal, then a blog, then partnered with the DA's office, speaking at community centers about romance scams. Slowly, I started healing, started forgiving myself, started believing I could trust again. Marcus Anthony DeLuca was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison for wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. I sat in that Charlotte courtroom with 6 other women he'd destroyed, watched him shuffle in wearing orange. He looked at me once. I didn't look away, didn't cry, didn't flinch. I stared back until he looked away. The judge asked for victim impact statements. I stood, hands shaking, voice steady. Your Honor, this man stole $215,000, my security, my retirement, my safety net. But more than money, he stole my ability to trust. For months, I wanted him to suffer like he made me suffer. But I learned holding on to hate is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So I'm not giving him that power. Marcus,
or Michael, or whoever you are, I forgive you. Not for you, for me. I'm taking my life back, and you can't have one more second of it." Jennifer squeezed my hand. For the first time in over a year, I felt free. That was 3 years ago. I'm 60 now, and happier than I've been in decades. I live in a cozy Plaza Midwood condo, have a rescue cat named Justice, still teach 3rd grade, won Teacher of the Year, volunteer with Roots nonprofit every Saturday, went on some dates last year. Nice men, good conversations, nothing serious. And that's okay. I don't need a man to complete me. Took me 57 years to learn that. My daughter and I are closer than ever. My son calls every Sunday. My grandsons think I'm the coolest grandma because I told my story on a podcast that played in their high school. Did I get my money back? Not a dime. But I got something better. I got myself back. So, honey, if you're reading this, 25 or 75, listen to what this old lady learned. 1. If it feels too good to be true, it is. Real love is slow, steady, built on trust, not grand gestures. 2. Trust your gut. Trust your people. My kids warned me. I ignored them. Don't ever dismiss people waving red flags. 3. Protect your assets. Never give someone access to your money because you're in love. Prenups aren't romantic, but being broke at 60 is worse. 4. Do your homework. Background checks aren't paranoid, they're smart. Google is free. If they get defensive, run. 5. You're not defined by what was done to you. Being scammed doesn't make you stupid. Surviving makes you strong. 6. Forgiveness is freedom. For you, not them. I forgave Marcus because carrying rage was eating me alive. 7. It's never too late to start over. I rebuilt at 58. You can too, at any age. I still have that photograph Tyler showed me, Marcus with that woman at my wedding. I keep it on my refrigerator, next to my grandsons and my cat. People ask, "Diane, why keep that? Doesn't it hurt?" That photograph saved my life. It was the truth that set me free. Yeah, it hurt, but it woke me up. Because here's what nobody tells you about rock bottom. Sometimes the worst thing that happens becomes the best thing that happened. That photograph destroyed my life and gave me a better one. I'm Diane Patterson. I'm 60 years old. I'm a survivor, a fighter, a teacher, a mother, a grandmother. And honey, I'm just getting started. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. You are enough. You always were. The right people will love you without trying to destroy you. Stay smart, stay strong, trust your gut, and never stop believing in second chances. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find out what you're really made of. And I promise you, you're made of steel.